Good day! Today we will talk about the role of assessment in a student's learning. But let's first identify what is assessment. What are the types of assessment and what are the main purposes of assessment? By the way, I am Leo Ahan, a Bachelor of Physical Education, 3rd year. Assessment is the process of identifying, gathering, and interpreting information about students' learning. There are 4 types of assessment. What are those? Formative assessment, summative assessment, authentic assessment, and diagnostic assessment. So what is formative assessment? It is provide feedback and information during the instructional process. And when you say summative assessment, it takes place after the learning has been completed. And diagnostic assessment, it takes to identify students' current knowledge of the subject and knowing the strengths and weaknesses to formulate a better plan. The fourth one is authentic assessment. So what is authentic assessment? It describes the multiple forms of assessment that reflect the student's learning, achievement, motivation, and attitudes in the classroom instructions and activities. So, let's move on to the 3 main purposes of assessment. What are those? The assessment of learning, assessment for learning, and assessment as learning. So, what is assessment for learning? It enables teachers to use information about students' knowledge, understanding, and skills to information their teaching. And when you say assessment as learning, it involves students in the learning process where they monitor their own progress. And you say assessment of learning, it assesses teachers to use evidence of the students' learning to assess a student's achievement against learning goals and standards. Okay, let's continue. What is the role of assessment in students' learning? According to Harris and Hodges 1995, that assessment provides important data on the breadth and depth of the students' learning is more than grading. It is about measuring the progress of the students in the learning and teaching process. The different types of assessment tasks are used to determine the students' approach of learning and how they learn to the particular task and what are the ways they can use to absorb the information. As what John Bigas in 1995 stated, what and how students learn depends to major extent on how they think they will be assessed. In the assessment, it is important to determine what is the best methods and strategies as a teacher can do to measure their learnings and is aligned to the objectives and goals. To sum up, the rule of assessment should include integrate grading, learning, and motivation of the students. Well-designed assessment methods provides good indicators or data that a student's learning. This will show the students' learning how the learning and what are the strengths and weaknesses of the student. Conclusion, as assessment is a powerful learning tool to enhance both students' learning and teachers' growth in the educational and the learning and teaching process. Identifying the assessment strategies is necessary for proper and better results of evaluation that dictates students' progress that aligns with or in the curriculum. Once again,
the future.